Friends, I'm here with a new release from John Renau. This is Clementine in the color 10RH16. We're going to talk all about this brand new regular synthetic style, and I'm going to talk about this color and show it to you both inside and outside. So if you want to know all about this really cute bob, stick around. We'll talk about her. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook. I'm partnering with name brand Wigs on this review. They sent me Clementine so I could show her to all of you. They're a wonderful online retailer. I do a lot of reviews for them because I love them and I think they're just a great resource for the wig wearing community. And I appreciate that they sponsor so many wig reviews because I think reviews are critical to helping you make a good decision. There are some things you can learn in reviews that you really can't learn from the product listing. Please check them out, and I do have a link to this piece in the description as well as a coupon code that will save you 30%. Let's take a look at this one from all sides. Now this is a straight, kind of blunt cut, modern long bob. Now it does have a tiny bit of layering on the sides to help with natural movement, but in general this is a very straight, very sleek blunt cut bob. And again, it's in regular synthetic fibers. I know I have shown a lot of heat-friendly synthetics. I do love a good heat-friendly synthetic, but regular synthetic also has a place in my heart, and if you're really struggling with the wig wearing journey, you're not prepared for the extra care that heat-friendly fibers often need on longer pieces, then a regular synthetic might be just what you're looking for. Now, all of my measurements are in the description so that you can assess my measurements next to yours and try to determine where this wig will fall on you. We are all so different. This measurement, you know, how much we have between our chin and our shoulders, our head size, our head shape, all really impacts wig fit and length. So just know that because this is going down to my shoulders, it could be a little shorter or a little longer on you, depending on your measurement. We've got an 11.5 inch fringe, meaning up here in the front, it's 11.5 inches. So you can think about where does 11, if you take a tape measure and you measure from your hairline down to 11.5 inches, where does that fall on you? That could give you a really good idea about how long it's going to look on you in the front. The slightest A-line, super slight sweep down in the front that a really good classic bob has. Now this piece has a full monofilament top and a lace front. Let's take a look at that lace front so that you can see. It's a great lace front. I think they did a really good job. Given that this is a darker color, it really looks super natural. The knots are tiny. I think John Renau has come a long way with their knotting on darker colors. I really appreciate, as a natural brunette, being able to find synthetic wigs that have a natural hairline when it has a darker color. And then we have a full monofilament top. Now you can see that this is parted slightly off center to the right. This is how it came out of the box. You can absolutely change the part. Sometimes parts on synthetic wigs can be stubborn to change. I recommend that if you're going to change the part line, you get a clothing steamer and a comb, and you really help coax those fibers into the new direction that you're trying to achieve. So it's not as simple as reparting human hair, but a little bit of water, a little bit of steam can really help if you are struggling to get those fibers to cooperate with a new part. Let's take a look inside the cap. For those of you new to wig wearing, on these major name brand synthetics, when you see monofilament top, that's what they mean. Basically, the whole top of the head is parting space. So all of that is meant to look like a lace that goes basically temple to temple. Really substantial ear tabs for great coverage on the sides with metal stays, an extended nape, Velcro adjusters. The rest is open wefted. I have cinched mine in just a little bit. I'm going to actually cinch it in a tad more just to give you guys a sense, because we're going to talk about fit here. So I have a really petite over the top of my head, and my circumference is 21.25, which is considered more kind of average petite. And I find that John Renau wigs fit very true to average, and so I tend to have to, let's comb through her a little bit, I tend to have to cinch in the adjusters on my Jon Renau wigs just a little bit, so, but I still had room to cinch them in. So I think if you are, you know, smaller than me, if you're maybe 21, potentially 21 and a quarter, or 20 and a quarter, or 3/4, so about a ½ inch smaller than me, 22 to maybe even 22 and a half, I think you could consider Jon Renau as a brand, because they do have a lot of room in their where you can adjust it, and they do have a lot of stretch. I do find this wig to be really stretchy, which helps give it more comfort and will help it fit a wider variety, I should say, of head sizes. I do have extra cap up here. Again, very petite over the top of my head. All my measurements are in the description. So if you are bigger than me over the top of your head, there's quite a bit of room here for me, so I do think you're going to be able to wear this one. The ear tabs, and I have a wig grip on because the wig does fit me a little big. That does help with security. And when I'm playing with these pieces, showing them to you, if the wig's too big for me, it's a little uncomfortable for me because I'm trying not to pull it off my head. So a wig grip, just a tip for you, can be a great solution if you're struggling with wig fit. I'll link a video below where I talk about wig grips and share my favorite wig grip. But here is the ear tab. I am not getting, sometimes when wigs fit me big over the top of my head, these ear tabs come a little bit lower on me than these are coming. I can, if I really work at it, I can cover my ear with this. But because the cap is so soft and stretchy, it's not uncomfortable for me to have the ear tabs right up against my ear. So the reason I talk about that is, again, if your head measurements from ear to ear are larger than mine, I do think there's some room, and depending on your hairline, you may or may not get great coverage. So my tip for you is, if you have a wig where the ear tabs ride a little high on you, either get a color that's relatively close. It doesn't have to match it exactly to your bio hair. So if your bio hair does show, you don't really have to worry about being super obvious, or get some root touch-up powder, because I use it all the time. I wear all colors, and sometimes I do have to put root touch-up powder on the hair over here so that it blends a little bit better. I have a video where I talk about that, and I'll make sure that's linked below as well. So overall, it does fit very true to average, and I do think it's going to fit a wide range of head shapes and sizes. All right, let's talk about permatease and volume. I would consider this a moderate or medium density piece. It is not a ton of hair, but it isn't super light density. It's a really healthy head of hair. Medium density and really no traditional permatease. When I touch back here, I feel the tiniest bit of crimpy fibers, but there is no traditional poofy permatease on this at all. So if you struggle with volume on wigs, if you struggle because you've been losing your hair with any kind of fullness on the very top, this doesn't have any of that fullness. It really is just a gorgeous, sleek box. The only caution I will give you, because these have synthetic fibers, you know, they can tangle. I'm not getting terrible tangling because it's not super long, but I do recommend that you carry a wide tooth comb with you everywhere you go. Keep one in the car, in your purse, in your desk at the office, wherever you tend to be, and run the comb through it periodically throughout the day. That's really gonna maintain these fibers and keep the tangles at bay. Jon Renau has the comb, and I love this comb so much. It is something I have everywhere, so I'll make sure that I buy mine on Amazon. If you purchase a Jon Renau heat-friendly synthetic, they do include this comb with those, but you can pick up these up on Amazon, and they're not very expensive. To summarize, super classic, cute style. If you like bobs and you like straight wigs, and you can do regular synthetic, I think you should check this one out. You can obviously see tucking. I love to tuck my wigs, especially straight wigs. Either do a full tuck or a partial tuck, and that can go a long way too in keeping the hair out of your face. If you find that the way that it lays is too much in your face, you can take a clothing steamer to get a little lift in the front. I have a video showing how I did that with a regular synthetic piece. I'll link that video below. There are gonna be a lot of resources below. If you're new, we just don't know these things, and so every time I come across something that I think helps me with my wig wearing journey, I make a video on it so I can show you how to take just a cheap clothing steamer to get a little lift in the front if you don't like how much it hangs in your face and you don't really like to tuck. I would say this is a real middle of the range. $353 is what it's retailing for right now, but I can save you 30%, brings the price down to below $250, which I think for a wig like this is a pretty good price. It's a high quality piece, Great lace front, lots of parting options, and Jon Renau fibers do tend to last, so I think you're going to get a lot of use out of this one if it's something you think you might like. Let's talk about color. 10RH16, otherwise known as Caffe Mocha. Now, on the Jon Renau brand, the RH basically means 33% highlights. So every major name brand sometimes has their own little codes that mean certain things. So when you see RH on a Jon Renau color, that means 33% highlights. So what we have here is a light brown, which is the 10. So on the color scale, a 1 is a black, a 2 is a soft black, a 4 is a dark brown, a 6 is a medium dark brown, an 8 is a medium brown, and so on. So a 10 is a light brown, a 12 is a little bit lighter, and then 14 is blonde. So just to give you a sense of where we are on the color chart, this is a 10. So just a kind of a medium light brown, and it has 33% natural blonde highlights. That's the 16, kind of a golden blonde. It's not stripy, but it is definitely a highlighted color. I think the kind of the blonde highlights just give it a lot of dimension, brighten it up a little bit. Great color for summer if you don't do blondes, but you kind of want to maybe go a little bit lighter. If you're a natural brunette and you don't really like super highlighted pieces, you can't do blonde, this color could really work for you because it does have a little bit of that brightness, but it isn't overly blonde. And when I first started wearing wigs, my hair is naturally dark brown. I had to slowly get myself to be comfortable with blondes. So a color like this helped me out a lot. Just get her situated again. I would consider this a neutral to warm color. I don't think it's not really red, but it is more neutral to warm. If it leans any direction, it leans warm. All right, let's get outside so you can see this color outside. Thank you to Name Brand Wigs for letting me show this one. I'm so grateful, and I really hope this helped someone. Let me know if you have questions, though, and I'll do my best to answer. See you guys in my next video. 10RH16. So windy. See how it moves. All right, there you go. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.